It was just after midnight when the storm rolled in without warning. Rain hammered against the windows of an old house while thunder echoed across the sky like distant drums. Inside, the lights flickered once, twice, and then everything went dark. In that sudden silence, two people stopped moving. Kate stood in the middle of the living room, calm and steady, as if darkness was nothing new to her. Joe, standing a few steps away, reacted as though the universe had personally switched off reality. A loud thunder crack shook the house. Joe jumped. "I knew it," he whispered. "This is how horror movies start." Kate sighed without even looking at him. "It's a power cut, not a curse." But Joe wasn't convinced. In fact, he was already looking around like the walls might start introducing themselves. Then came another sound. A low creak from somewhere deeper in the house. Joe froze again. "Did you hear that?" Kate finally turned her head slightly. "It's an old house. It makes noise." "That noise sounded intentional," Joe replied seriously. Before Kate could respond, Joe's stomach growled loudly in the silence. Kate paused. "Was that the ghost?" Joe placed a hand on his chest. "That's hunger. Different entity." And that was when the idea arrived. In the kitchen, there was a chocolate cake. Joe remembered it like a discovery of ancient treasure. "We should get it," he said. Kate slowly looked at him. "You want to go into a dark kitchen, during a storm, for cake?" Joe nodded. "It's a survival mission." Kate sighed again, the kind of sigh that means she already knows she's going to regret everything. And so, they moved. Armed with only a small flashlight, they walked through the dark hallway. Shadows stretched along the walls, and every step made the wooden floor creak like it was complaining about their existence. Joe stayed right behind Kate, using her as a guide through what he clearly believed was a haunted environment. Halfway down the hallway, something shifted in the darkness. Joe stopped instantly. "Something's there." Kate narrowed her eyes. "It's a hallway." Then, two glowing eyes appeared at the far end. Joe stopped breathing. Hallways don't do that. The eyes blinked. Slowly, a cat stepped into the dim light and sat down, staring at them like they were the ones being strange. Kate relaxed immediately. Joe, however, did not. "That cat is evil," he whispered. The cat blinked once and walked away, unimpressed. Finally, they reached the kitchen. The refrigerator light flickered on as Kate opened the door, filling the room with a soft white glow. Inside sat the chocolate cake. Perfect, silent, glorious. Joe looked like he had just found gold. "We made it," he whispered proudly. Kate reached for a plate. But just then, a loud crash echoed behind them. Joe screamed. Kate turned fast. It was just a mop falling over. Joe pointed at it dramatically. It attacked first. Kate stared at him. "You walked into it." Before anything else could be said, footsteps echoed from the front door. Both of them froze. "Slow. Careful. Getting closer." Kate grabbed a frying pan. Joe grabbed the cake like it was a shield. The footsteps stopped. A voice called out, "Hello." Kate stepped forward cautiously. "Who is it?" A flashlight clicked on. It was their elderly neighbor, checking on the open door. Joe blinked. "So no ghost?" The tension dropped instantly. And at that exact moment, the lights returned. The house lit up again, warm and normal. Joe lifted the chocolate cake like a victory trophy. "We survived." Kate looked at him. "We were never in danger." But fate had one final joke. The cake slipped. For a moment, everything slowed. Joe stared in horror. Kate closed her eyes. And the cake hit the floor. Silence. Joe whispered, "Still edible?" Kate slowly turned toward him. And somewhere in the background, The cat watched quietly from the hallway like it had planned the entire evening.